Good morning, warriors. Will you please join me in the pledge to the Bible? I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word. I will make it a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will hide its words in my heart, that I might not sin against God. Will you please join me in the pledge to the flag? Everybody point to where the flag is. Is this the flag? No, those are the words. This is the flag right here. And remember, your right hand goes across to your left side. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We've been going quickly through the catechism that we learned last year. Hope that those of you who are new are catching on quickly. So let's start with who made you? God made. What else did God make? God made all things. Why did God make you and all things? For his own glory. Have a new one today. Ready? I'm going to say, how can you glorify God? And you're going to say, by loving him and doing what he commands. Let's try it. How can you glorify God? By loving him and doing what he commands. Yes, and one of the greatest commandments is what we're going to hear today. Our big idea for this week is love God and love others, and that is the greatest commandment. So I'm going to read that part to you from the Bible. So the Pharisees and the Sadducees, who were always trying to trick Jesus into saying the wrong thing, they heard that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees. So the Pharisees got together, and one of them, who was an expert in the law, tested him with this question: "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments." And what kind of caught my attention is that it says the second is like it. So the first one is love God, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. So the way we can love our neighbor shows how we love God. We might not have a lot of evidence about how much we love God. God knows that. But how we love our neighbor shows the way we love God. So I'm going to give you an example, and I want you to think of one on your own also. So my neighbor, and your neighbor's not just the person who lives next to you or sits next to you, but anyone is your neighbor. I have an across the street neighbor that is grouchy. Does anybody have a neighbor that is grouchy? Okay, yes. Well, he does not like anyone to step on his grass, and he does not like anyone to park by his house. So how can I love my neighbor even though he is grouchy? If I want to show that I love God, how can I love that neighbor? Yes, right there. Yes, that's right. So I'm going to leave his grass alone and not park in front of his house. Now, some people might think, well, if he's going to be grouchy about that, then I'm just going to do it. But that's not showing that I love God. So how would that look at school? How can you love your neighbor at school, even if it's not your best friend? Reed, you have an idea? Oh, I hope you heard that. So you could tell someone who's grouchy at school that they just need to be loved by God. Okay, anybody else? How can you love your neighbor at school? Okay, I've got a second grader over here. Back there, yes. Is it easy to be kind to people who are not always kind to you? Not easy, but God doesn't always ask us to do what's easy. So I want you to be kind to the people who are easy to be kind to today, and be kind to the people who are not always easy to be kind to. And then you will be showing that you are loving God as well. Let's all sing together, Trust and Obey. How can you glorify God? By loving Him and doing what He commands. And He commands us to love Him and love others. So we're going to trust and obey that commandment today. Have a great day.